Alright guys, last evening we were over at the school there, and today we're out at Jim's farm. There's the pond there. The barn used to be up there. And we're going to do some detecting. I guess we'll start off here. I was going to go down to the musket ball field, but we'll start here, and I kind of have an idea of where the hockey rink was by using that house there as a guide. It's sort of right in front of it. Measured it on the map, 64 by 24 meters from the 1953 aerial photograph. And yeah, we'll see if we can find something. We were using the ground is going to be moist. It's spring, although they didn't take a second cut of hay, so there's a little bit up, but we'll try and power through that. We have the 15-inch coil today with the Equinox 900, so we'll give that a shot and see what happens. Well, it might be just about time to abandon this area down here. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot. Yeah, doesn't seem to be any pattern with the musket balls. I haven't found one. I just had a signal that kind of sounded like clad, but and it wasn't too deep. We got half a horseshoe. Maybe we can have some luck. Alright, we've decided to come to this slope area beside the pond. I know back in the day they mentioned about this being the place in the village for winter activities, so maybe there's some activity on this ridge. If not, we got farm activity, and we had a mixed signal here in the 70s, 80s on the 900. Mix of iron and good stuff, and got ourselves a buckle. And earlier we had, and this one's going out to Pop Can Dan, got ourselves a buckle and spoon. And that spoon is, wow, really messed up from the plow. But there we go. We got a buckle and a spoon. Alright, we moved down to the garden area, and we swung around there. Not a lot. Seems like there was lots of nails in there, but we're going around the outside, and just had a nice high 80s target. Pretty solid. And look at the patina on this thing. And I believe that is part of a padlock. She's very brass. And it says Eagle. This looks pretty old, actually. That's pretty darn cool. Maybe we can find the rest of it. Alright guys, we're back at Jim's farm, and we just thought we'd do some field swinging. There wasn't really anything here other than just farm activity. Unfortunately it's pretty long in spots, but he does have a strip around the edge. That's not too bad. And yeah, I started way down there, and there was like nothing. I mean, as fields go, you got to swing a lot before you get anything even remotely diggable. But we had a super nice high 80s, 90s signal here, and not very deep. I think we got ourselves a buckle. Oh yeah, look at that. The soil is extremely dry right now. It is crazy how dry it's been this fall. But look at that. Oh, that is a nice buckle. The steel part, the pin's long gone it seems, but yeah, that's very cool. D buckle. Beauty. Nice patina on that. Alright, let's see what else we can pull out. Alright guys, well, it's been pretty quiet, as you would expect the field to be. So we just started moving our way up the other way through the longer stuff, and we actually had a deep faint signal in the 90s. It sounded like a coin. I don't know if it's a coin yet, but it is round. It might just be a button, but if it's a coin, it could be quite something. I'm probably thinking it's a button. It's most often you find buttons in fields than coins, but I don't know. That's starting to look like... Oh yeah, I see sort of a ring around the edge, so it's probably a shank's missing. It's probably a button. Let's just see if there's anything, any detail on it, or if it's just a plain flat button. Well, she's definitely a shankless button. There's some writing on it. I can't quite make out what it is though. Need to get some more look at it at home. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Nice little random field drop. Yeah, no design on it, just a plain surface. Well, we had another nice signal. We've come out of the long stuff, sort of into this area that Jim has made for the ATVs, so it's a little bit more swingable. And I think we got ourselves another flat button. I don't think it's a coin. Oh yeah, ooh, and we got a shank this time. Very sweet. Wonder if it's the same as the other button. Yeah. Seems to be plain on that side. That's an interesting button, or shank. I'll have to see what, not sure if that means it's older or not quite as old, but that's pretty cool. Let's brush it off and see what it says. Oh, this one I can't really make out anything on the back. I don't even know if there is any writing on it. But she's a plain. Very cool though, we're getting something. Oh, we're back up at the farm, and I haven't swung over here with the 900 yet, and I know there was a lot of nails and trash in the front, so we're giving it a try and see what we can pull out. And we had this one thing, was a low 60s, 61 actually on the surface, and I can't believe how low that rings up. It's a 1941. That the old bronze. These are the bronze pennies. The newer ones past 1942 ring up much higher. So yeah, we've got another George VI out of here. Very cool. Alright guys, we're back at Jim's farm. We're going to do a little bit around the front here. He's cleared away some of the brush in this spot. He says on this edge of the house was the store back in the day. The previous owners back in the 40s and earlier had a store here. They sold feed and other sort of farm related stuff. And I mean, I found a lot of 40s pennies over there, so it might have been from that era. And then we've got permission to go across the road. So that land over there used to be owned by Jim's parents. That used to be part of this farm. And then back in the 80s, they sold it to Dan Aykroyd. And then he had it up for sale last year, and a new fellow bought it, and Jim knows him, so he asked. And yeah, I got the go-ahead. So what's important about across the road is this road here was the main road north, and it was a toll road back in the day. And there is a vestige of that old road in the field over there. Some of it's a vegetated strip, but looking on the map, you can see that there's a bit of a stone base in some of the soil areas, and they had beans on this year, and it's been cut, so it's all nice to go. So we're gonna start over here and then move over there in a little bit. All right guys, we're in an area that was full of lilacs, and Jim has cleared it out, and he was hoping that I might be able to find something in this spot. Now we have evidence from newspaper articles that there were lawn socials here, which would have been out here. They were usually community gatherings, usually with the church, and they were to raise money usually. Yeah, as far back as about 1904, it mentions there being a lawn social here, and I think at that lawn social, as my buddy Pop Can Dan says, they must have had some serious jamming going on at that social. Of course they would. There would have been all sorts of entertainment and doings going on. I don't know, is there another one down there maybe? Or is that just the one? But pretty cool. I had to really fight for that one. There's layers of stone dust and roots and all sorts of other stuff to get under. Glad I didn't damage it too much. That's pretty awesome. Alright, we're back over near the walkway by the driveway. We haven't tried it with the 900 yet, so we thought we'd see if we could eke anything more out. And we had something coming out in the 60s. And further down we had this square nail, but I also see a coin. It's probably going to be 1940s, just like all the other ones were along here. And yeah, here's a George VI, 1946. Very cool. Yeah, there's still more in here, and that was right in with that nail, but we were able to sniff it out. Well, we had something coming up beside the sidewalk. It was up into the 60s and such, and I don't think we've gotten a shotgun head stamp out of here before. But we got a Dominion. I can't make out what the bottom says, but yeah, she's probably goes back a ways, probably 40s or earlier, but yeah, very cool. Oh, we're beside the driveway, and we had to go really deep for this one. Seems to be a lot of filling in this area. We got this little sort of cap thingy from an old car previously, and it was under a rock. So stuff's been filled in on this side. Plus the grass is very vigorous on this side. And yeah, we have some more jamming happening. We got a full harmonica this time. Everything else is rotted away, but there's the actual top to it. It actually looks almost like it was steel. That top, probably the nameplate and stuff. I don't know, unless it's zinc, but yeah, we got the two reeds and that. Yeah, pretty wild. Alright guys, we're across the road now in the bean field, and what I believe this vegetated strip to be the old road bed. The old toll road was a macadamized road, which means it has stone base, so that's more than likely the reason why this was kept as a vegetated area, because it was not very workable. It's further down. They have worked it, but you can see that there's a lot more rock in that area, and we're going to give this a try. Yeah, it's actually the landowner gave Jim permission to cut down the dead trees, so that was actually him cutting the trees along here. He's just across the street over there, and yeah, so we're gonna give this a try. And maybe, I mean, this area is vegetated, but maybe back in the day they worked it and some of the stuff got dragged further out, so we're gonna go along this strip and then go further down to where the old, what I suspect is the road bed that goes right through the worked field. Well, I came here not knowing exactly what this was. Maybe it's the old road, or maybe it's just an old fence row. It's hard to say, but I'm down. Looks like it was partially done at one time, but has been left for a while. But I had a 60s signaling down here. I don't know if this is just a penny or maybe it's a flat button, but we got something that's Oh no, we got a flat button. She's an oldie. Definitely an oldie. Have to clean it up and see if there's any design on it. Oh, for now it just seems to be a plain flat button. Oh, it looks like brass. It's green, so it's definitely not pewter. Oh, we've got a shotgun head stamp. There's absolutely no writing on it whatsoever, so this thing could be pretty old. So a lot of the early ones had nothing on them, so I'm beginning to think this may not be an old roadbed. I think this might just be a spot where the limestone gets shallow, and that's why there's so much broken limestone sort of in a line, sort of goes this way and joins up with what might have been the old fence row. You can see it kind of drops off here, so I don't know. Haven't found too much along it, so it is possible that this is just yeah, I mean, it was a theory, and it seems to jive with avoiding that ridge where the road goes now, but I don't know. We'll keep going along. We'll go back and see if anything else comes out. Alright, we're back in the other field again. We'll come back this way, and I was surprised to actually get a nice high 70s, mid 70s signal, and got ourselves just a tiny little tack buckle. Not sure if it's too old, but yeah, very cool. We'll keep going along here, and I guess if this wasn't the old road, then we're just looking for random drops. Well, it's something you don't see very often. There's a little bit down there, but it's actually a brass spoon. It's like totally yellow. Huh, that's pretty wild.